I had just picked up my brand new car and was on my way to get my girlfriend from work when a reckless driver in a luxury supercar slammed into my rear. The impact was devastating, leaving my new car a crumpled wreck of steel and glass. I was severely injured, though the shock kept the full extent of the pain at bay. The other driver, far from being apologetic, insisted on calling the sugar mama, who bankrolled him to handle the situation, and he physically blocked me from calling the police. When the owner of the supercar finally arrived to settle the matter, my heart stopped. It was my girlfriend, Brianna Vance. As it turned out, she had been playing the part of a struggling professional while hiding a massive inheritance. That million-dollar car was nothing more than a toy she'd bought to keep a petty live streamer happy. To cover up the accident for her lover, she snatched my phone from my blood-slicked hands, preventing me from calling 911. "It's just a car accident, Ethan. Can you please stop making such a big deal out of nothing?" she snapped. But I wasn't making a scene. I was dying. 1. The crash happened in a blur of screeching tires and shattering glass. My vision went dark for a split second, and I felt a jarring shudder ripple through my internal organs. I don't even remember how I managed to stumble out of the wreckage. The other driver was a young guy, barely out of his teens. The moment he stepped out of his car, he started swearing, frantically dialing someone on his phone. I told him to call the police, but he ignored me, insisting we had to wait for the real owner of the car, his baby, to handle it. Since I wasn't visibly bleeding from any major wounds, he didn't see the need for an ambulance. 10 minutes later, another luxury SUV pulled up. The sugar mama had arrived. The kid ran to her, calling out "babe," with sickening enthusiasm. In my daze, I looked up. I thought I saw Brianna step out of the car and walk straight toward the man who had nearly killed me. I rubbed my eyes, hoping it was a concussion-induced hallucination, but there she was. She threw her arms around him, her face filled with worry as she stroked his cheek. Finally, she turned toward me. When our eyes met, her expression shifted to one of mild surprise. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" The question should have been mine, but the words were lodged in my throat. Shock was quickly replaced by a cold, searing rage. She had been lying to me. The Brianna I knew was gone, replaced by a stranger with a hidden life. "Babe, do you know this guy?" the driver asked. It clicked. I had seen this guy before. Brianna used to spend hours watching his gaming streams. He was a rising star on Twitch, a guy named Tyler Frostking. I never imagined they were sleeping together behind my back. I struggled to my feet, swaying. Brianna reached out to steady me, but I recoiled from her touch. A driver from her SUV ran over, bowing slightly and addressing her as Miss Vance. I stared at her in disbelief. She was supposed to be a regular marketing assistant. How deep did the lies go? My heart sank as 1,000 questions flooded my mind, but I didn't know where to start. "I can explain," Brianna said, her voice regaining its usual cool composure. I cut her off. "Did you buy that car for him?" She didn't answer, which was an answer in itself. "You're certainly generous," I spat. Seeing me snap at her, Tyler stepped forward to defend his benefactor. "Hey, watch your mouth. Who do you think you're shouting at?" "Tyler, stay out of this," Brianna commanded. Tyler blinked, looking wounded. "But he wrecked the car you bought me." Brianna didn't hesitate. "I'll buy you a new one later, okay?" She had always been so frugal around me, clipping coupons and complaining about the cost of rent. Seeing her now, a wealthy socialite who didn't blink at the price of a supercar, it was like looking at a different person. She pulled me aside, trying to downplay her connection to Tyler while carefully avoiding any details about her true identity. "He's just a new influencer our company's signed." "Brianna," I interrupted, "who the hell are you?" She sighed, finally giving in. "Actually, my father is the CEO of Vance Enterprises, the company you work for, too." It all made sense now. I had always wondered how she moved through the corporate headquarters with such ease, never needing a badge or an escort. She had kept the secret perfectly for 2 years. I hadn't suspected a thing. I'd spent my life working overtime, skipping meals, and saving every penny just to buy a decent car so she wouldn't have to take the bus. And all the while, she didn't need any of it. My hard-earned car was now a pile of scrap metal because of the kid she was keeping on the side. Tyler walked over and grabbed her hand. "Babe, why are you explaining yourself to this loser? Just throw some money at him and let's go." Suddenly, a wave of nausea hit me. My chest felt tight, and every breath was a struggle. I pulled out my phone to call for an ambulance. When Tyler saw what I was doing, he panicked. "Wait, is he calling the cops?" Brianna lunged forward and snatched the phone from my hand, ending the call. She glared at me. "Ethan, are you really going to report this?" "You still here, son." Did she really think we could just walk away? This wasn't a fender bender. He had been drag racing. He hit me on purpose. "You can't call the police." Tyler just signed a massive contract with my firm. He has endorsement deals on the line. It's just a car, Ethan. I'll buy you a brand new one. There was no guilt in her eyes, only a cold, calculated logic. Her solution was an insult. If she actually loved me, how could she protect a man who had just endangered my life? When I remained silent, she sighed with exasperation. Ethan, stop being dramatic. I get it. You're jealous. It wasn't that simple. I was looking at her and seeing a stranger. I felt like I had never truly known her at all. Driven by a mix of spite and genuine conviction, I asked the one question that mattered. And what if I insist on calling the police? Brianna's brow furrowed. Then we're done. We break up. 3. She was actually using our relationship as blackmail. My heart plummeted. I had vastly overestimated my worth to her. To Brianna Vance, I was worth less than a profitable influencer. The realization made me even more determined. Too late, I gasped. I already did. While they were busy playing house, I had managed to send a text to the emergency services. I knew Tyler would try to run. Brianna froze. She immediately turned to Tyler. Tyler, get in the car. Go. I'll handle this. I lunged forward, grabbing Tyler's arm. No, he's not going anywhere. If he left, there would be no accountability. Tyler shoved me away with a look of pure disgust. I hit the pavement hard, my vision blurring into a haze of gray. Brianna looked like she wanted to say something, but she didn't reach out to help me. Tyler sped off in her SUV, leaving the two of us alone in the darkening street. Brianna began to negotiate. Ethan, listen to me. When the police get here, tell them we were arguing and that caused the accident, okay? I was horrified. She was dead set on protecting Tyler, no matter the cost. Ethan, if you don't agree, I'm the one who's going to get in trouble for letting him drive the car. She knew I wouldn't let her take the fall, even as angry as I was. Pain surged through me, a sharp, stabbing sensation that felt like it was tearing my insides apart. Cold sweat poured down my face. I just wanted the truth. What is he to you, Brianna? Really, if she told the truth, maybe I could find a way to forgive her. It's just a professional relationship, Ethan. Why are you being so paranoid? She wouldn't look me in the eye. I knew she was lying. I wanted to believe her, but what colleague gets a luxury car and gets called babe? Tyler's arrogance made it clear. I was the one intruding on their relationship, not him. Brianna's patience finally snapped. She called a tow truck, intent on moving my car and destroying the evidence before the police arrived. I tried to stand to stop her, but my body wouldn't obey. Brianna, even if you move the car, there are cameras. Ethan, it was a minor accident. Can you please stop making a mountain out of a molehill? A minor accident? Her indifference set my blood on fire. I forced myself to stand, using the wreckage of my car for support until I was eye level with her. If Tyler had killed me today, would it still be a minor accident? But you're standing right here, she countered. Her words choked the life out of me. The pressure in my chest was becoming unbearable. I could barely speak. My phone. Give it back. Only if you promise not to call the police. Give it to me. I roared, my voice cracking. Her phone rang. It was someone from the office telling her she was late for a meeting. She looked at me, her eyes darting to my phone. She knew that if she gave it to me, I'd tell the truth to the authorities. She made a decision. She opened my phone and sent a text to the emergency dispatcher, canceling the request for assistance. I watched in utter disbelief. Now I can go to the office in peace. Ethan will finish this conversation after my meeting. My face was ghostly pale. All I wanted was a hospital. I begged her, Brianna, I won't call them. Just give me my phone. She hesitated for a second, then pulled back. I am sorry, Ethan. I can't gamble with the company's reputation. Instead, she shoved a credit card into my hand. Go buy yourself a new car and a new phone. I'm taking this one with me for now. You'll understand eventually. She hailed a taxi and vanished into the city lights, leaving me alone in the middle of the road. I let out a bitter, hollow laugh as the taillights faded. Then the world tilted and I collapsed into the darkness. 4. A passerby eventually found me and called for help. I was rushed to the ER, but I had lost too much time. The internal bleeding had caused irreparable damage. The doctors managed to stabilize me, but I slipped into a deep coma, a persistent vegetative state. My sister, Chloe, begged the doctors to save me. Her screams of grief echoed through the hospital corridors. She knelt at the doctor's feet, sobbing. My brother has his whole life ahead of him. He can't just not wake up. The doctor sighed, his face etched with regret. If he had been brought in just 20 minutes earlier, the outcome might have been different. Chloe's eyes went dry from crying. She called my phone over and over, but it was always the same. The number you have dialed is currently unavailable. The phone stayed off. I wanted so badly to reach out and comfort my sister, but I was powerless. My spirit seemed to drift above the hospital bed, watching her. I followed her back to the scene of the accident. There were no cameras there. The area was under construction. There was no trace of the driver who hit me. The only clue was a 2-word text I had managed to draft before my phone was taken. Tyler King. Chloe was smart. She saw the unsent draft on my sync laptop. It was all she needed. She searched the name and immediately found Tyler's social media profiles. She tracked down the influencer agency Brianna ran. When Brianna heard someone was looking for Tyler, she stepped out, looking at Chloe as if she were just another one of Tyler's jilted flings. Chloe froze. She recognized Brianna from the photos I used to show her. She knew this was my girlfriend. What do you want with Tyler? Let me guess. Did he tell you he was single? Brianna's condescending tone made Chloe's skin crawl. This wasn't the sweet, caring girl I had described. Chloe heard people calling her Ms. Vance. Fearing that Brianna and Tyler were in this together, Chloe stayed cautious. I need to see Tyler. Her voice was firm, but Brianna just smirked and held out her phone, showing a payment app. My heart raced. I was terrified she was going to hurt my sister. Chloe, push her hand away. What is wrong with you? Brianna sneered. I've seen girls like you 1,000 times. You just want to pay out, right? Fina, I'll pay you to go away. She thought Chloe was a blackmailer. I felt a deep, biting shame that I had ever loved someone so morally bankrupt. Chloe refused to budge. Brianna finally lost her temper and ordered security to throw her out. Don't ever let her back in here. Watching my sister being dragged away broke what was left of my spirit. Just then, Tyler stepped out of the elevator, nearly walking right into her. I screamed for her to look at him, but I was a ghost. Brianna turned on Tyler the moment Chloe was gone. You are nothing but trouble. We have a major brand launch coming up. Don't screw this up. Tyler wrapped an arm around her, pouting. Babe, I promise. But that guy from yesterday, was he really your boyfriend? In a way, it's none of your business. In a way, I had given my life for her, and she could barely admit we were even dating. Babe, that crash was pretty bad. Are you sure no one saw? Tyler was clearly worried about his own skin. To my horror, Brianna didn't hesitate. I already had a crew clean the site. You have nothing to worry about, as long as Ethan. Is he okay? I mean, I hit him pretty hard. Even my rival had the decency to ask. Brianna brushed it off. He'll be fine. I'll handle him. Tyler grinned, relieved. I realized then that my death, or my silence, was the only thing they cared about. Brianna tried to message me on Instagram later that night. When I didn't respond to her dozens of texts, she grumbled to herself. Is he really this petty? He's still not replying. I laughed bitterly. It wasn't that I didn't want to reply, Brianna. I literally couldn't move. Thanks to Brianna's cover-up, the accident stayed out of the news. However, someone had caught Tyler drag racing earlier that day on their dashcam. A frantic assistant ran into Brianna's office. Ms. Vance, Tyler's comments section is exploding. Someone posted a video of him speeding. She watched the video, her jaw tightening. I didn't think Ethan would go this far. He must have filmed this. I'm going to find him. She actually thought I was the one who leaked the video. I wanted to thank whoever did it. At least someone was making sure Tyler didn't get away scot-free. Brianna grabbed the new phone she'd bought for me and drove to my office. I'm looking for Ethan Miller. The receptionist looked at her with confusion. Ethan? He hasn't been in for days. 5. In Brianna's mind, I was a workaholic who would never miss a day without a reason. She assumed I was just hiding out, trying to punish her. She bought a new car and drove to my apartment complex, determined to apologize. But when she called my landlord, she got a shock. What do you mean he moved out? The landlord told her that my sister had come by the day before to pack my things and collect the security deposit. Brianna stomped her foot in frustration. He's playing hide and seek now? And since when does he have a sister? I thought his family was back in his hometown. She spent 10 minutes complaining about how immature I was being. Her driver asked from the front seat, Miss Vance, would you like me to track Mr. Miller down? No, let's see how long he thinks he can hide. I was screaming in the silence of my mind. I wasn't hiding. I was in a hospital bed, fighting for every breath. And it was all because of her. Back at the hospital, Chloe was exhausted. She was sleeping in the waiting room chairs. Our savings were gone, and the medical bills were piling up. She stood by the glass of the ICU, whispering for me to wake up. The insurance company refused to pay out because there was no police report and no other vehicle found at the scene. The lead doctor approached Chloe with a grim expression. Chloe, the funds for his care are nearly depleted. You need to prepare yourself. Chloe wouldn't listen. She told them to do whatever it took, that she'd find the money. But where? We were at the end of our rope. Chloe opened Tyler's Twitch stream. He was live, arrogantly denying the speeding rumors. Some bottom feeders are trying to extort me, he told his fans. But we aren't scared. I have the best legal team in the business. Chloe began spamming his chat. Did you hit a man and run on Tuesday night? The message was swallowed by the fast-moving chat, but she kept going. A minute later, she was banned from the channel. Tyler was rattled. Chloe posted her story on Reddit and X, trying to find witnesses. But as soon as the posts gained traction, they were deleted, and her accounts were suspended. Brianna was fast. She had a whole PR department dedicated to scrubbing the internet. Chloe realized she couldn't fight a billion-dollar corporation alone. She sat on the floor of the hospital hallway and sobbed. Ethan, what do I do? The hospital told her they'd have to move me out of the ICU the next day if the bill wasn't settled. The doctor looked pained. Tomorrow morning is the latest I can give you. 6. In desperation, Chloe almost called an ex-boyfriend she knew was wealthy but toxic. Hello, can you lend me some money? I'll do anything. No, I shouted, my spirit lunging toward her, but my hand passed right through her arm. Suddenly, a hand reached out and grabbed Chloe's wrist. Don't do that, Chloe. Chloe looked up. It was my boss, Madeline Reed. Madeline didn't say a word. She went straight to the billing department and paid for 20 days of intensive care up front. Chloe almost fell to her knees in gratitude. Ms. Reed, thank you so much. Madeline shook her head. She had seen Chloe's deleted posts before they were scrubbed. She looked through the glass at me, her eyes brimming with tears. I only wish I had come sooner. Chloe realized then that this wasn't just a boss-employee relationship. Madeline had been in love with me for a long time. I had turned her down once because of Brianna, and yet here she was the only one standing by my family. Don't worry, Madeline told Chloe. We're going to find out who did this. Using her own connections, Madeline found a delivery driver who had been passing through the intersection at the time of the crash. They met with him and watched his dashcam footage. It captured everything. The crash, Tyler getting out, and then Brianna arriving. Brianna Vance, they said in unison. Chloe was confused. Ethan always said Brianna was just like us, a normal person. Why is Tyler listening to her? Madeline gritted her teeth. Because she's the heiress to the Vance fortune. Madeline had known for a while, but had kept quiet, not wanting to interfere in my life. Now, she regretted it deeply. We're going to her office. Now, with Madeline's help, Chloe bypassed security and stormed into Brianna's inner sanctum. Chloe, what are you doing here? Where's your brother? Brianna acted as if she were happy to see her. Chloe let out a cold laugh. Stop the act. You ruined him. He's in the ICU right now because of you. That's impossible. Is he having you tell me this to test me? Tell him I bought the car, okay? If he just comes to see me. Madeline stepped forward. He's not playing games, Brianna. He's dying. Come to the hospital and see for yourself. Brianna hesitated, her mask slipping for a moment. But then she hardened. I am Buse. Tell him to stop with the theatrics. If he apologizes for the drama, I'll forgive him. Forgive him? Chloe was shaking with rage. You're coming with me right now. Chloe literally dragged Brianna toward the door. Brianna struggled, screaming that they were lying. At that same moment, Tyler had found out which hospital I was in. He watched me through the glass, a dark plan forming in his mind. If he wakes up, my career is over, Tyler whispered. He's basically a vegetable anyway. Might as well just send him to the morgue. Tyler had bribed a corrupt night shift orderly. They entered my room, disconnected my ventilator, and prepared to wheel me out on a gurney, intending to forge a DNR and have me cremated before anyone noticed. I was frantic, watching my own body turn blue. Just as they were moving me, the elevator doors opened downstairs. Chloe, Madeline, and Brianna had arrived. Brianna refused to get out of the car at first. Her eyes were red. Is he really in there? Is he really not waking up? The doctors say there's only a 10% chance, Chloe snapped. Brianna shook her head. How? Did I really do this to him? She was a mess of nerves. As Chloe pulled her out of the car, Brianna grabbed her arm. Chloe, does anyone else know about this? Aside from the three of us. What is that supposed to mean? Madeline asked, her voice cold as ice. Brianna pulled out a checkbook. I'll pay for everything. I'll give you whatever you want. Just don't let this get out. Chloe didn't respond with words. She slapped Brianna across the face. You're disgusting. Suddenly, Chloe's phone buzzed. It was a notification from the hospital's automated system. Her brother was being processed for emergency transfer. Transfer? He's too unstable to move. Chloe ran into the hospital, but a group of men blocked her path to my room. Ethan, wake up, she screamed. Madeline tried to push through, but was shoved to the floor. Tyler appeared at the end of the hall. Are you the sister? You're not bad looking. You're trying to kill him. Tyler shrugged. He's already a walking corpse. I'm just helping him find some peace. Ethan, wake up. As Tyler's hired thugs held Chloe and Madeline back, I felt a sudden, violent pull. With every ounce of spiritual will I had left, I lunged back toward my body. I opened my eyes, tore the white sheet off my face, and sat bolt upright, gasping for air. "Ethan, he's awake!" Chloe screamed. 7. Tyler nearly jumped out of his skin. He stumbled back, his face turning ashen, and he actually fainted right there in the hallway. Brianna reached the room just in time to see me sitting up. She rushed to my side. "Ethan, I knew you'd be okay." I looked at her, my throat raw. One word scraped its way out. "Leave." She froze. She hadn't expected such coldness. I reached out and took Madeline's hand instead. She was shaking, her eyes overflowing with tears. I looked at her and nodded, my heart full of a gratitude I couldn't yet express. After an emergency exam, the doctors were stunned. The shock of being moved had somehow kick-started my system. I was weak, but I was back. Chloe threw herself into my arms, sobbing. I stroked her hair, my heart aching for everything she had endured for me. Brianna stood in the doorway, trying to come closer, but Madeline blocked her. "Everyone out," I said hoarsely. "I need to talk to Brianna. Alone." Chloe looked like she wanted to protest, but Madeline let her out. Brianna took my hand, her voice trembling. "Ethan, I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was this bad." I pulled my hand away. "You took my phone. You left me to die in the street. You think I'm sorry fixes that?" I was panicked. "If you hadn't insisted on calling the police." She was still blaming me. I felt a wave of profound exhaustion. I didn't need this person in my life. "Ethan, please. It was a mistake. If I had known, I would have called 911 myself. And if it hadn't been this bad," I challenged her, "you would have kept protecting Tyler. You knew he tried to have me killed today, right? He tried to have me cremated while I was still breathing." Brianna went pale. She hadn't known about Tyler's plan to dispose of me. She immediately made a call to confirm, and the look on her face told me everything. I looked her dead in the eye. "We're done. Get out." 8. Brianna burst into tears. She knelt by my bed. "Ethan, please. I'll make it right. I'll blackball Tyler. I'll never speak to him again." "You're only blackballing him because you know I'm going to go public," I said. "He's a liability now. This isn't for me. When you were with him that night, did you think about me once?" She tried to deny it, but I wasn't listening. "Chloe, get her out of here." Chloe didn't need to be told twice. She dragged Brianna out. As soon as I was strong enough to hold the phone, I had Chloe film a video. I told the whole story, the crash, the cover-up, the attempt on my life. We posted it everywhere. Then I called the police. Tyler was arrested that same afternoon. Brianna tried to visit me with flowers and gifts, but Chloe threw them in the trash. I was busy with physical therapy, with Madeline by my side, every step of the way. "Madeline, thank you," I said one afternoon, "for everything, especially for Chloe." Madeline blushed. "You don't have to thank me, Ethan." Suddenly, Brianna burst into the rehab center. She saw us talking, and her eyes flared with jealousy. "Madeline, what are you doing here? I'm Ethan's girlfriend." "Not anymore," I said firmly. "I never agreed to a breakup. You can't just leave me." She tried to grab my arm. I pulled away so sharply I almost fell. Madeline caught me. "Stop it, Brianna," I snapped. "This isn't your house, and I'm not your employee. Get over yourself." "I'm not giving up on you, Ethan," she whispered, her eyes wet. I ignored her and let Madeline lead me away. Back in my room, Chloe teased us. "Is it just me, or is the room getting hot? When are you going to ask her out, Ethan?" I smiled. "Soon. I just need to get my life back first." I hired the best lawyers Madeline could find. We sued Tyler and Brianna for everything they were worth. On the day I was discharged, Brianna was waiting at the entrance with a luxury sports car and a massive bouquet. Chloe rolled her eyes. "What now?" Brianna handed me the keys. "Ethan, congratulations on getting out. This is your homecoming gift." I handed the keys back and told Chloe and Madeline to wait in the car. I needed to end this. "Don't come back, Brianna." "Why?" "I've admitted I was wrong. I helped the police with Tyler. What more do you want? Why did you leave me that night?" I asked quietly. "Did you think I wouldn't die? Or did you just not care if I did?" Brianna started to cry. She took off her sunglasses, revealing eyes that were swollen from days of weeping. "I thought you were okay. I swear, if I had known, I would have killed Tyler myself. And if I had been fine, you would have let him get away with it. You would have let me suffer in silence while you played house with him." She didn't answer. Her silence was the truth. "Don't call me again. I don't want Madeline to get the wrong idea." Brianna stood there, frozen, as I walked away. 9. The day of the trial, Brianna looked like a ghost of her former self. She answered the judge's questions in a hollow voice. The judge suggested a settlement, but I refused. I wanted a verdict. After the hearing, Brianna tried to follow me, but her father, Richard Vance, stepped in her way. He He walked straight up to me and pulled out a checkbook. Ethan, here is $2 million. Consider it a settlement for Brianna's mistakes. It's more than you'd make in 4 years. Drop the suit. Dad, Brianna tried to stop him, but he glared at her. Be quiet. He's only with you for the money anyway. Why do you think he's making such a scene? I looked at the check, then at the man who thought everything had a price. I didn't even know she was your daughter until the day of the accident, I said. Richard sneered. Please, stop acting. If you don't take this and walk away, I'll make sure you never work in this industry again. I pulled a letter out of my pocket. Actually, I already resigned. Your threats don't mean anything to me. Richard was shaking with rage. He raised a hand to strike me, but Brianna stepped between us. Dad, stop it. Everything that happened is my fault. Richard looked at her with pure disgust before storming off. Brianna turned to me, her voice a whisper. I'm sorry, and I don't blame you for suing me. I deserve it. She took a deep breath. I was always trying to earn his approval. I wanted to prove I was more than just a bargaining chip for a corporate marriage. I thought if I made the company enough money through influencers like Tyler, I could finally marry whoever I wanted. I did it for us. It sounded romantic, but it was hollow. Maybe you did love me, I said, but you loved your status more. You protected Tyler because you didn't want to lose your win. You didn't do it for us. You did it for you. She didn't argue. Is there really no going back? No. 10. She suddenly hugged me, refusing to let go. I don't believe you don't feel anything for me. I used to, I said, peeling her hands off me. But you killed it. I don't love you anymore, Brianna. She looked over my shoulder at Madeline, who was waiting by the car. You love her, don't you? After such a short time. The question made everything clear in my head. Yes, you do. Who wouldn't love the woman who saved their life? Brianna looked like she'd been stabbed. Then, I hope you're happy. As she turned to leave, a woman rushed out of the crowd and slapped her hard across the face. You bitch. Stay away from my boyfriend. It was Tyler's actual girlfriend. The woman screamed at Brianna, calling her an old hag and accusing her of grooming Tyler. Brianna stood there, her hair a mess, scratches on her face, looking more broken than I had ever seen her. Tyler and I weren't like that, Brianna tried to explain, looking at me. She wanted me to believe her more than anyone else. Then what were you? I asked. We flirted. It was an ego thing. He messaged me constantly, and I was foolish enough to think I could use him to get ahead. She showed the chat logs to the girl, proving Tyler was the one pursuing her. The girl eventually left, satisfied. I turned to go. Brianna reached out, then pulled back. Ethan, I never meant to betray you. Maybe not with your body, I said, but you betrayed me with your lies. When were you going to tell me who you were? Or was our whole life supposed to be a secret? She had no answer. From that day on, Brianna stopped calling. I won the lawsuit and used the settlement to start a tech firm with Madeline. Within a year, our profits exceeded all expectations. The Vance Group tried to crush us, but we secured international backing and broke their monopoly on the market. Tyler went to prison for a long time. It turned out he had a history of hidden runs that Brianna had covered up. Richard Vance publicly disowned his daughter. The day Brianna left the country for medical treatment, after a crazed Tyler fan attacked her, I received a check for $2 million in the mail. It was a gift from her with a signed agreement that I owed her nothing in return. I didn't keep it. I gave it to Chloe, who used it to start the Miller Foundation, a nonprofit that helps victims of corporate negligence get the legal help they need. On the day our company went public, I took Madeline to the rooftop of our new office. I knelt down and asked her to marry me. Through tears of joy, she said yes. I knew then that no matter how dark the past had been, the future with her would be bright. Story complete.